All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the session. I'm just seeing whether we are live here on our channel as well. Yes, we are. Okay. All right. So, good morning,
All
everyone.
right. Hello, everyone.
Just give me a second.
Welcome. Welcome to the session. I'm just seeing whether we are live here on our channel as well.
Okay.
Yes, we are. Okay.
So, as usual, we are going to be doing a guided newspaper practice session. So, basically, what we'll do is we are going to pick up an article. And today, as usual, we have picked up an article from Livemint. It's a slightly counterintuitive article, slightly unpopular as well. Now, the reason behind doing this entire exercise of guided newspaper practice is to improve your fundamentals across all the four sections. Okay, so I'll be presenting an article to you. I'll be reading very slowly. You'll be listening to my English. So, to some extent, you will be absorbing the English language. You will also be reading the text that's coming on your screen. Okay, apart from that, you will also be speaking loudly. So, I'm going to give you a paragraph. I will speak first, and you have to repeat the words after me. So, you will be speaking loudly. And then finally, I will give you a few words. I will explain the meaning to you, and you have to give me sentences. All right, you have to give me sentences of these particular from these particular words. Okay, very simple. So that's what we are going to do. All right, so is this clear? Is this clear about what we are going to do? Let me quickly see how many of you are commenting. Hello, that are saying hello. Anju, I'm able to see your chats. Welcome. Okay, so let's begin. All right. Now, here we are going to take a slightly different opinion. We are not going to take a very straightforward one. We are going to take a different opinion. And the reason is I want you to gather different perspectives. All right. So, especially when you're giving your writing task two or you're expressing your opinion in part three of your speaking test, it is necessary that you have different perspectives so that you can express yourselves better. Okay. So, here this article says that it's India, not China, that tariffs would hurt. Now, tariffs means imposing some kind of trade restrictions. Okay, so all of you would be knowing that there is this growing sentiment that we should block imports from China, right? We should block Chinese products. So this article says that it might hurt India more. Okay, now, don't get emotionally involved into the article. Just think of it this way, that this is giving you another perspective, another side of things, so that you can now use the same strategy. You can apply the same logic for other topics as well. Okay, so this particular article that we are taking is due to the sole purpose of developing more perspectives. Let's begin. Let's start. Here is the article here. The latest border standoff with China has created possibilities of India raising barriers on Chinese imports. The latest border standoff. Now, what do you mean by the word standoff? Standoff. Now, standoff means that you are in a position where there is no truce, no peace that's possible. Okay, so to put it in very simpler terms, imagine a situation when you had a fight with your brother or sister. Okay, and it was maybe for a piece of chocolate. You're also pulling it, your brother or sister is pulling it too. Okay, and there is no peace, right? Both of them want the exact same thing. Okay, so that is called standoff. Now this is now in broader perspective, this is what's happening between India and China. There is a standoff, no agreement that's possible. Okay, so the latest border standoff, what does the word latest tell you? The word latest tells you that there have been multiple such instances in the past. Okay, that's why latest border standoff with China has created possibilities, created chances of India raising barriers on Chinese imports. Now, what do you mean by raising barriers? Raising barriers means you can figuratively think of it this way, that you are erecting some kind of a big wall, that, hey, Chinese goods, you cannot come in because there is a wall. Now, is this being erected physically? Really? No. These are not real barriers. Now, raising barriers in terms of policies, okay, making rules, saying that Chinese goods will not be allowed. Okay, that has created possibilities. It's not actually happening. Raising barriers, that's all. Okay, probably they will do it. Possibility is there. This possibility arises means coming up at a time when India is devoting considerable energy, lot of focus and energy is being given to what? To articulating Atmanirbhar Bharat. Now you can see that you are able to see these two words in quotes, Atmanirbhar Bharat, which means it is some kind of an initiative. Okay, it's some kind of a name given to an initiative. Okay, fine. What is that initiative? The notion of a self-reliant India. So Atmanirbhar Bharat is the notion of a self-reliant India. What do you mean by notion? Idea. The idea of a self-reliant, okay, which means self-capable. We are not dependent on others. That kind of an idea. Okay. Similarly, articulating means expressing clearly, okay, without any ambiguity, without any confusion, okay, making it very clear. So now the focus is India is devoting a lot of time and energy to making Atmanirbhar Bharat very clear. We are still figuring out how we should go about it, but that is the focus now. And what is Atmanirbhar Bharat? The idea of self-reliance, self-reliant India. Okay, that is the idea. Okay, fine. We understood till this point. Next is this one. The import pushback. Now, what do you mean by import and export? Okay, a lot of students get confused between import, export. When I say import, it means something from outside is coming in. Import inside. Just remember it this way. Import means inside, coming inside. Okay. So if Chinese goods are coming to India, it's called Chinese imports. Okay. But if we have to sell it outside, then we will say exports. Okay. Indian exports, and then Chinese imports, Sri Lankan imports, Bangladesh imports. Okay. That's how we'll say it. Okay. So the import pushback, which pushback means you're resisting, the import resistance. So we are resisting imports, right? We don't want goods from outside. We want to make it ourselves. So the import pushback inherent in the belief. So the import pushback mindset that is inherent means inside, deep inside. Okay. The import pushback deep inside this belief is accentuated by the border clashes. So already this particular belief had import pushback, which means we didn't want imports. And this is further boosted. Accentuated means to make something more prominent, make something more clear. Okay, is accentuated by border clashes with China. Okay, leading to the surmise of India enhancing tariffs on Chinese imports. Now, again, leading to the surmise. Now, what do you mean by surmise? Surmise means that something that is being guessed to be true, although we don't have evidence, it's probably true. Okay. So, this particular problem, the border clashes, due to which the import pushback has now increased, and this has led to the assumption of India enhancing tariffs on Chinese imports. So tariffs means we are now having more restrictions. So if you have to get something from China inside India, you probably have to pay 40% tax. Okay, this is just a random number that I'm putting. Maybe earlier it was 20%, now it's 40%. Okay, so that we discourage Chinese imports. Okay, everyone clear? I hope it's clear till this point. Okay, good, everyone. All those who are participating, Datar, Anju, Kiran, Sirjan, Sarabjot, Hardeep, Dylan, Jayashree, Kiran Preet. Good job, everyone. Okay. Now, next, let's talk about the next one. Unilateral trade restrictive actions. So what do you mean by unilateral trade restrictive actions? Unilateral, bilateral. There are two words. Okay. Unilateral, bilateral. Unilateral means one-sided. Bilateral means both sides. So you might have heard of terms like the bilateral ties between India and US are strong, which means each other. Okay, the action is from both sides. Unilateral means one-sided. So if I say unilateral trade restrictive actions like tariffs, which means without any kind of a discussion, if we simply decide that if there are going to be any Chinese imports, we are going to put 50% tax on it. Okay, unilateral trade restrictive actions like tariffs are intended, okay, to convey to China. So why are we doing this? To send some kind of a message, to convey to China India's determination. Okay, determination means resolve, willpower to not allow import dependence. So basically, we are trying to convey that hey, we are not dependent on your goods. To come in way of acting tough on China. So if you want to act tough on China, but what if you're already dependent on imports? Okay, if you're dependent on goods from China, then how can you act tough? So unilateral trade restrictions are basically a method to convey that, hey, we are not dependent. Okay, getting clear now? Getting better? Yeah, good job. Good job, everyone. Very good. Okay. Now, let's not get into these numbers. They are not important. From a language point of view, they are not important. So let's not touch upon these. Let's directly come to this aspect. Okay. India imports more than it exports. Now, what did you understand by this? India imports coming inside is more than what goes outside. Okay, making it an overall net goods importer. So whenever you see the word net, remember it's a subtraction of something. Okay, net means a subtraction of something. Okay, India imports more. So if you're importing 100 rupees worth of goods, but you're exporting only 60 rupees worth of goods. Just a rough example. You're say importing 100 numbers of chocolates, okay, small toffees, but you're exporting only 60 of them, which means you are keeping back 40, right? You're dependent on others to give you that many chocolates. You're not producing, you're producing only 60 chocolates, but you want 100 from outside, so you're dependent on that. Okay, making it an overall net goods importer. Now it imports the most. Now the most, what is the meaning of the most? The most is basically a superlative, highest. Okay, okay. The most intelligent student in class is, okay. So highest. So it imports the most from China. Okay, thereby making the greater perception. What do you mean by perception? Perception means it is thought of this way. The general perception is that COVID-19 is very dangerous, which means the general thought, okay, the general idea about it is that it is very dangerous. So it makes the greater perception of reducing dependency on imports, fundamentally an effort to reduce imports from China. Now, what do you understand? It's a complex sentence. Let us do it again. So India imports the most from China, maximum we are getting from China, thereby making the greater perception. So what is the thought now? That if you want to reduce dependency on imports, so you don't want imports coming, you don't want goods coming from different countries, but hey, you're not getting them from a lot of countries. Maximum is from China. So basically, if you want to reduce import dependency in general, it's more like reducing imports from China itself. That's what this says. Fundamentally, an effort means basically, so to simplify, fundamentally an effort to reduce imports from China. Okay, so now what we are going to do, the next paragraph, we are going to be doing this as a guided speaking one. Okay, I'm going to be reading out word by word and you are going to repeat after me. All right, yes, everyone, all of you are going to repeat after me. Okay, all right, good job, all of you. Okay, let's start. We are going to do this paragraph. Okay, India is looking to reduce import dependency on China, ostensibly for safeguarding national security interests. Repeat after me. As I tell you a clause, repeat after me. According to many, deep reliance on China for several critical imports cramps the country's negotiating space and flexibilities in strategic consultations, such as those going on at the border right now. Okay, let's ignore this. The steel and aluminum tariff hikes by the US were based on these being strategic items required extensively by several major domestic industries, including defense. Okay, next. The latter industries, not later, the latter industries needed to reduce their import dependence by switching to domestic sources, which were to be encouraged by the tariffs and respond positively by raising capacity and output. Repeat after me, okay? Similar sentiments are prevailing in India with imports that are perceived as security risks. Okay, good. All of you did it with me. Just type done if you did it with me. Type done if you did it with me. Type done if you did it with me. Okay, good. All of you are participating really well. Good. Good, Jalpa, all the others, Sirjan, Tatar, Elizabeth, very nice. Faisal, good, good. Good job. Okay, now what we are going to do is all of you read the entire article, right? Now, I want you to give me a one line opinion of what you think. I want you to express your opinion. Now, remember, this is not about what you personally think. I am just saying how you are able to express your opinion. Okay, so you can say that it will hurt India, you can say it will hurt China, you can say something has to be done, you can say this is not the way to go, you can say whatever you want. This is basically a test of your English language. I want to see how you are expressing what you think and feel. Okay, so put it on the comments box and I will be reviewing whatever you express. Okay, so I want to see how you're expressing. So this is task number 1. You have to give me a one line opinion. So if I have to give you an example, I would say that although this article talks of the fact that India might be on the back foot if tariffs are raised, we have to send some kind of a signal to China so that such mischief on the border is avoided. My opinion, for example, okay? I can now also say something else. I can say that although India would like to send a signal to China, erecting trade tariffs is not the right way to go as it will only hurt Indian businesses. Okay, again, another opinion. Okay, you can have one more. You can say that the best way to resolve this is to get a third party mediator like the US, because both the parties are not willing to let go of their demands. Another different opinion. So I want to see how you are expressing your thoughts. Okay, so I'm able to get some. So Aditya, trade war. Rahul is saying India is looking to import by increasing tariffs. Okay. Okay. Ostensibly. Ostensibly means apparently. Apparently. Okay. Kurat is saying we want peace. It will not help anyone. Very good. So I want to see how you are expressing your thoughts. Everyone just put your opinion. It can be anything. Okay. Nobody is judging you here. It's just to see how you are coming up with your thoughts. That's all. Okay, so that is task number 1. Now I'm going to give you 3-4 words and you're going to make sentences out of it. Okay, please write these sentences on the comments. Only then you will learn actively. Okay, even if you're watching this as a recording later, put it on the comments and I will review your sentences. Okay, let us first take a simple one. Articulating. Okay, articulating means to express something very clearly. Okay, so here what is being said, India is devoting considerable energy to articulating Atmanirbhar Bharat, which means to make this concept very clear, right? You can also make it, write it in a very simple way. You can say that my manager articulated my job responsibilities very clearly. Okay, so you can say that when my manager told me very clearly about what I should do. You can also say that my boss never articulated about my responsibilities and therefore there was constant tension between us, right? He did not tell you clearly. So therefore it was tension, right? Communication gap was coming up. So that's how you can use the word articulating. Okay, what is the word? Articulating. One more time, articulating. Okay, this is a new word you're learning. You should not forget this. Okay, next. Next is, let us do inherent. Okay, inherent means something that is deep inside somebody or something. Okay, already deep inside. Okay, I'll give you an example. We have many negative thoughts inherent in us, which means that these are not thoughts that we are trying to consciously make, but it's deep inside us. So there are negative thoughts inherent inside each of us, and it is up to us to overcome them. Inherent. Okay, deep inside. Inherent. What is the second word you learned? Inherent. So the first one was articulated, articulating. You can use it in different forms. It's a verb. Next is inherent. which means deep inside. Okay, now keep giving me the sentences. Keep giving me the sentences. Very good. Good job, everyone. Yeah. Okay, good. Others, Himanshu, Commerce Paradise, Tajwar, very good. Venkat, good job. Okay, Swati, good. All right. Next, let us learn another different word. Okay, let us learn the word prevailing. Prevailing, prevalent, which means that it is common. Okay, so if you have to talk about something in the current context, you will say that the COVID-19 situation was not prevalent in certain small countries. Okay, so in small islands, small countries, somehow they've been able to eradicate it, or they've not allowed people from outside to come in. So therefore, COVID-19 is not present there. So you can say that there are certain lucky countries where COVID-19 is not prevalent. Okay, which means not present there. Okay. Similarly, you can say prevailing, you can have other months. So you can say fear is prevailing everywhere nowadays because of the COVID-19 pandemic. People are afraid, people are scared. Okay, you can use the word prevailing. So the three words that you learned, prevalent, prevailing, similar word, different forms, that is one you can do. Second, you can have articulating, which means clear expression. Next is inherent, means something that is deeply imbibed inside. There are certain other words too that I want to teach. I'm not sure if it will get too much, but let's learn those two also. Okay, accentuated. The import pushback inherent in the belief is accentuated by border clashes. Accentuated means it became more prominent. So this import pushback feeling, so the pushback imports was already there inside, but this was boosted up by border clashes. Because border clashes happened, we said, hey, now we are going to definitely push back imports. Okay, so it was boosted up, it was made more prominent. Yes, you're getting it? Okay, good. Leading next. So this thing happened, this import pushback feeling increased, leading to the surmise of India enhancing tariffs on Chinese imports. Now, what do you mean by surmise? Surmise means an assumption that you're taking to be true, although you don't have evidence for it. So leading to the surmise. So people are now assuming that India wants to block Chinese imports. But is there a rule around it? Has there been a law that's passed? No, nobody is really sure, right? There is still a lot of uncertainty around that. Okay, so therefore you would say there is a surmise. Okay, so you can say doctors can surmise that certain medicines are acting well against COVID-19. People are not sure, doctors themselves are not sure, but they can surmise, they can probably take it to be true. Although they don't have evidence, they can probably take it to be true. Okay, good. So I want you to pick out 3, 4, 5 words from this entire list that we learned and frame sentences. Okay, please type your comments so that you will also practice writing. All of you practice speaking with me, all of you spoke loudly. At the same time, you made your sentences, you listened to me speak, you read a passage. So this is good practice. Okay, keep doing that. All right. Good job. Good job, everyone, on practicing so actively. Very nice. Okay, I'll see you in the next session. In the meantime, stay in touch. All the best. Bye-bye.